Society is not the enemy. I personally am on TikTok, and every once in a while I get a video on my For You page of people who once identified as a gender they weren't assigned at birth, aka transgender, and now identify as a child of God. I know this is a touchy topic, and this isn't the point of what I want to talk about, but it's a really good example of what I do want to talk about. There was a person in particular who was born a girl, Maddie, and had already started transitioning to be a man, Matt. Matt was engaged to a female, and their family had completely pushed him away. The family didn't agree with what Maddie, was doing, and instead of loving, they distanced him. They didn't include them in family holidays, didn't allow them to see their siblings, etc. One day out of nowhere, the family reached out and started to spend time with Matt again. They even allowed Matt and the fiancé to stay in an RV in their driveway while they were in between living arrangements. Matt's grandmother passed away, and he inherited her house. While going through her things, Matt found a song, one of the lines being, "God is working all things out for your good, if you would only trust him like you should." For some reason, that line stuck out to Matt, and he decided he'd start praying again. So one day at his job, he was praying and asking God why all of a sudden his family was being so loving to him and his fiancé, and why all of a sudden they were welcoming him back into their life when before they didn't want him around or involved at all. God replied, "I gave them the spirit of love, and I can give you that same spirit if you will quit running from it." Matt knew that this was the voice of God and made the decision to detransition and break off his engagement. Matt is now back to Maddie and uses TikTok to share her story. A commenter asked, "Do you feel like you were pressured by society to be a transgender male?" Maddie's response was, "Those feelings were so real. Society didn't make me hate the fact I was a female. Society is not the enemy. People are not the enemy. Satan is the one who put those deceitful thoughts into people's minds. Yes, society's corrupt, but it's corrupted by the enemy. Satan is directly deceiving kids and believing they were meant to be something they're not." I think that's really important to remember because, yes, we can influence other people with our actions. And when surrounded by a corrupt society, you'll be influenced, just like books you read and movies you watch and the music you listen to. It can corrupt you. Satan will use that to corrupt you, but it's Satan using those outlets. Another commenter said, "It's disturbing to see how many Christians hate transgender people and don't show love." When people are hurt, sometimes they confuse not condoning the behavior with hatred. But I also know lots of people personally who will forgive the drug addict and not the gay person, not the transgender person. A reminder to you that loving is not condoning. Every sin is equal, and every single human being is dealing with sin. You're no better than me, I'm no better than anyone else, and we have to remember that. In God's eyes, every single sin is bad, period. So remember when dealing with a child that's going through something, a neighbor that lives in a way you don't agree with, it's not the person to blame, it's the enemy. Society is not the problem, Satan is. Do not blame people for falling into sin. Encourage them, love them, and pray for them. Showing hatred will only push people further away from God. 2 John 1, 4-6. A reminder, friends, this is not a new commandment, but simply a repetition of our original and basic charter, that we love each other. Love means following his commandments, and his unifying commandment is that you conduct your lives in love. This is the first thing you heard, and nothing has changed. 1 John 4:8 says, "Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love." And 1 Peter 4:8 says, "Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers over a multitude of sins."